My next guest was just 12 years old when he was diagnosed with juvenile macular degeneration. That's a condition that caused him to lose his vision over time. Aaron Scheidies says he didn't let that stop him from setting his sights on becoming a world-class athlete. Take a look.
My name is Aaron Scheidies, and I'm an 8-time world champion triathlete and Paralympic athlete. So when I was age 9, my teacher started noticing I was having trouble seeing the chalkboard and reading normal size print. So I got diagnosed with Stargardt's, which is juvenile macular degeneration, which would mean that I would progressively lose my central vision over time. Currently, I have about 15 to 20% of my vision left. My teenage years were pretty tough because I was coming to grips with the fact that I wasn't normal compared to everyone else, and really got depressed and diagnosed with obsessive compulsive. I guess my life changed when I found endurance sports. In the water, I just kind of followed splashes, and then the bike, I just tried to stay on the white line. And there's still days where I struggle and find it difficult to question how it would be if I had full vision, but everything that I've done, the person that I've become because of it, yeah, I wouldn't change it.
Fam, please welcome 8-time visually impaired world champion para triathlete Aaron Scheidies to the show. Oh. Okay, there you go. You're gonna have your seat. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. I love that quote. You don't have to have vision to be a visionary.
Yeah.
That was on your show. What a journey. Is it surreal to you? How do you process life today compared to that 9-year-old kid who was wondering what was happening?
I mean, looking back at it now, I think I see more of just kind of that it has been a journey, and I've made amazing strides and just done amazing things and had great opportunities. But back, when I was a kid, struggling through kind of finding myself, being normal, and finally kind of really learning how to be resilient. But now it's just every day I live my life, and I'm in this cloudy world of my own brain thinking that like the vision that I see is what everybody else sees. So I just live my life, and what comes of it comes of it.
It took years for a proper diagnosis for you. Why did it take so long?
Well, back when I got diagnosed, it was much less known. The gene that caused my condition wasn't even known, and there wasn't a lot of people doing the tests for it. So it was pretty rare, and it still is pretty rare. But it took about 2 years to figure out what was going on. And back then it wasn't as impactful for me that actually a doctor thought I might be doing it for attention and behavioral, and I had to get neurological testing and things like that.
That's what your family, that's what they were told early on, that this might be a kid who was trying to get attention?
Yeah, and I think probably my family took it harder at that point because I just was a kid trying to live my life. And
what were you describing to the doctors? Help us understand what it's like for you.
Well, when I was getting diagnosed and starting to lose my vision, I was like between 9 and 12 years old. So I had a lot better vision than I do now, but it's a progressive loss over time. So it's really difficult to kind of explain what I saw then and what I see now, because really the only way I can explain it to people is like, well, back then I could see this, and now I can't see this. Yeah. And so it's like having a high definition TV as your visual field, and every second of every day, little pixels being taken away from the center part of your vision. So,
which is why it's so remarkable, because this is ongoing, where you are now. The big turning point, though, was for you in high school. Your brother suggested swimming. Mm-hmm. Why did he suggest swimming?
Well, he was on the swim team, but I think he just suggested it because he knew it wasn't a sport where balls would be flying at me. And,
well, there's that part, Aaron. There's that.
To see a bunch of stuff. Yeah, it's a sport that really is more geared towards the work ethic and harder you work, and the pool just kind of seemed to give me an outlet from society.
But the splash helps you as well. Is that the case?
I think, well, in the early days of starting triathlon, I actually did it myself. I had better vision then, and the splashes is what I would use to know where I needed to go. So splashes of other people. That was before I used a guide.
That was before you used the guide.
Yeah.
And once you got the guide, many more things opened up, and coming up, we're going to learn more about Aaron's journey and the person who helped him reach as high as he is right now, which is a world-class athlete, after the break.
We're going to Rio! We're going to Rio!
Welcome back. It's National Reach as High as You Can Day, and we're talking to people who've gone far to exceed their own goals and are sharing how they defied the odds to accomplish what seemed impossible. We're back with 8-time world champion para-triathlete Aaron Scheidies, who began losing his vision as a child, but didn't let that stop him from dreaming big. With a little help from a guide, Aaron continues to reach as high as he can every day, and now he has the blog. I love the name of this blog, Blind Baby Daddy. Yep. And he wants to inspire people to see the world through his eyes. And joining us via Skype from LA is Aaron's guide during competition, Ben Collins, who we just saw on the tape celebrating that he and Aaron made it to the Rio Olympics. Ben, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Your job, you have a lot of pressure on you during the triathlons. Your job is to make sure Aaron is safe, that he doesn't get injured. How do you explain the bond that you have to share when that's your role with the athlete?
It's, racing as a guide is totally different than racing on your own. There's a lot of trust involved in that. So racing with Aaron, I always felt like, my goal was to not hold him back. I got into triathlon myself. I wanted to know what I was capable of, and every race is a chance to sort of push your limits and see how strong you can be. And when Aaron found me, he was really struggling to get to that limit because he was having trouble finding people that could keep up with him. And so, when he found me, I was kind of an up and coming young professional athlete, and we started racing together. It was just amazing to see him kind of break through and be able to realize his potential.
Well, I love, Ben, how beautifully you've just put it, because Aaron says it was like going through a dating site. That's what I heard he said. You said picking the guide was like going through a dating site.
Yeah, I know Aaron's. I'm not the only person that's guided Aaron, that's for sure.
Okay, well, that leads to so many jokes I won't say. But Aaron, how do you explain it that it's like a dating site situation?
Well, when you find the right one, you stay with them. There was a time in my career that I was also just, I always tried to also keep it fun and make it a little bit of a promotional thing. So I would do race with a lot of different professional guides and things like that. But I think also not everyone is meant to guide. It's a special talent, and just knowing your role and being very perceptive. And Ben was always super kind of perceptive, and especially on the tandem bike, just keeping us in sync and knowing little things that I could do to make us better as a team.
It's harmonious. Watching the two of you together, it's beautiful. I know that I mentioned the blog, Blind Baby Daddy, which is an incredible title. You have 3 kids in addition to your accomplishments as an athlete. Kenan, who's 4, Tut, who's 3, Luella Rosebud, who was born March 9th.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
Super cute. When we talk about going to the heights of our own life. I think that's one conversation. When we are talking about the lessons we want to teach our children, that's another. What do you hope they get out of watching you defy the odds and reaching higher than that 9-year-old little kid probably ever knew he could go?
I mean, I just hope I teach my kids the same values that I go by. And my whole mission in life with See Different with Aaron and the Blind Baby Daddy blog is really just to challenge everybody in the world to look through a different set of eyes and look through every situation through the eyes of someone else. And if that be a blind person, you know, maybe closing your eyes and trying to do something with your eyes closed just to get an idea and use your other senses. And so there's a lot of people that might, you know, not think that a person that's blind could really safely handle 3 kids. So my Blind Baby Daddy blog is really meant to like show, well, the funny sides and just how I do things as a blind dad, and things are different maybe.
Wow. Well, you're an amazing dad and obviously a phenomenal athlete. Congratulations, Aaron and Ben. Congratulations on all you've accomplished together and inspiring everyone. And by the way, you can follow Aaron's adventures on his blog. You know the title by now, Blind Baby Daddy. Yep. Thank you both. Thank you, Ben, for joining us.